Ooh, I'm coming back to back like a Diddy lawsuit. What's up, what's up? Welcome to the first episode of Hoes and Headlines, where we discuss all of the hoes in the headlines. Now, originally, I was going to call this series E-Talk, but that name was already taken, so I had to make it do what it do. We keep it moving over here. We're coming on every Saturday like a college football game. So with that being said, if you have not already, please hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notifications, babe.
Been through a lot from the start. Just to figure out who I am.
All right. The first story on our list today is coming from none other than the head doctor herself, Phaedra. Girl, Phaedra skipped the Married to Medicine reunion, and is this really supposed to be shocking? Please. After Phaedra paid Walkie Talkie the remainder of that money for that $100,000 donation she promised, and then we can't forget, after taking that African man out of the country, you know, the one who wears the pocketbooks, that was a fee in itself. And so, remember, Phaedra just got back from Lagos with Portia. Child, they were over there fishing for new lobster because you already know, Phaedra and Portia have already eaten everything up in the States. There's nothing else here, baby. The land is dry. So Phaedra didn't have any more money left. That's my thought. So I'm going to say allegedly. I don't care what anybody says. Phaedra doing all that traveling, buying all those wigs, those custom outfits, because you know her body is unusual, then donating to the charity, plus the pounds and pounds of makeup she wears. Please, Phaedra didn't have enough money left to pay her ghostwriter. So it was no way that she was going to show up to New York and face Dr. Buddy, Dr. Walkie Talkie, and the nurse of cul-de-sacs in Buckhead, Quadrina. She was not going to mess with Quad. Please, Phaedra was not going to do any of that. She did not want to get her ass ate up twice on the same franchise. Because look at this picture. This entire right couch was going to tear her ass up so bad she was not going to have any ass left for Drew and Angela to kick when she got to the Housewives next month. Okay, let's move forward. The next story that caught my eye this week was Melody Holt, or Melody SHARI, whatever she's calling herself these days, whether it's Holt or whether it's SHARI. Bottom line is the girl got exposed, okay? Destiny exposed Melody for allegedly giving Martell sloppy toppy in the back of the limo, okay? Drive a roll up the partition, please. Now, back when I was reviewing Divorce and Side Chicks of Huntsville, I told y'all, Melody lied too much for me. I told y'all the girl played victim, she's a narcissist, and that I believed Wanda when Wanda said that Melody knew about Ariane for years and she stayed with Martell anyway up until the affair hit the blogs. Now, this was all during the time Melody was trying to kick it up to her melomutts that she didn't like giving fellatio, which was the reason, allegedly, that Martell was cheating with Ariane to begin with. Now, fast forward 3 years, and we're finding out not only did Melody not mind giving fellatio, but she also liked doing it in front of an audience. Listen, girl, just take a look.
Act like you weren't going around trying to have threesomes with your husband.
Girl, you are lying. Girl, you
weren't open to it.
I've never.
All right, well, let's run
you know what?
Did you not get on your knees and slop on a hook and a crook in the back of the limo on your 10-year anniversary in front of all of these people?
Let me ask you something.
Did it happen?
What does that have to do with the
Did it happen?
What does that have to do with
Did it happen?
propositioning
And you want to act like these women, everybody jumps to me, they don't respect
you.
you.
What does that have to do
They
with
should have never seen that.
propositioning a threesome, Destiny?
You were grooming again.
Baby, it ain't nothing in me that's going to get down on my knees and suck no penis in front of no Tisha and no Kimmy. Was Mel drunk, high, or both? Come on now. Let's move forward.
Grooming again. There's no reason for you to be slobbing on a hook and a crook in front of married men and women.
Well, let me tell you, be very careful about saying things that are inaccurate. Because you're saying, let me say, you're saying that I was walking around grooming somebody.
Did you get on your knees?
I have to answer for you. You weren't there. You weren't there, but I'm going to.
But it happened.
Girl, if I didn't believe Destiny, I certainly believe the look on Tisha and Kimmy's face. Those facial expressions, they told it all. Melody plays whole games, and I believe she did that on her knees in the limo. 10,000%. I believe it. Yes, I do. She didn't deny it. She said everything else, but that's not true. She said everything else except you're a lying bitch. She said everything else but that. And so, in my opinion, if you are that bold or drunken, allegedly, out of your mind to perform fellatio on your husband in front of other couples, then turn around and say the husbands who watched you give a blowjob are now your trusted marriage counselors, then you're just a slut and you're less than smart. If that's what you really want me to believe, do y'all really think Melody thought Marceau or Maurice really wanted to counsel her in her marriage after watching her suck Martell's balls in the back of the limo? Allegedly. Come on now. Because that's what she said right after this clip. She said, Marceau and Maurice was giving me good marriage counsel and we were texting all the time and they were sending me scriptures. Girl, what are you talking about? If you believe Melody trusted Marceau and Maurice with her marriage, then I just know you voted for Trump. I just know it. And that's just all it is to it. Let's move forward.
I'm not going to get on my knees and slob on somebody's in front of people unless I want them to join in.
Okay, now look at this. The two aunties. And he has his pearl necklace on, okay? Listen, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, they made headlines this week. And for all the wrong reasons, of course. Now, before I even dive into that story, I have to show you all the Valentine's Day video that Rihanna made about her and A$AP Rocky that she posted to her story yesterday. Now, look at this. She's so in love with this sack of garbage. Girl, Rihanna is wearing a $30,000 dress, and Rocky has on $8 hair clips on the side of his head. Lord, please let love this delusional never find me, Lord, for real. When I see pictures of Rihanna and Rocky, it looks no different than when I see Shamar and the jailbird drug addicts he be knocking down, for real. Men with rap sheets, drug addictions, STDs, lack of intelligence, and a hood aesthetic, those are not hard to find. And they are easy to keep. This is not a success. This is not something that needs to be glorified. As a matter of fact, you can just look at Bobby and Whitney or Offset and Cardi. Baby, these type of men are a headache to get rid of, okay? But let's get back to the story. Rocky waived his right to testify in his criminal trial. Take a look.
You cannot be compelled to testify. It's totally your decision to either get on the stand or waive your right to testify and not testify. You understand that?
I understand.
Okay. Which right do you wish to take advantage of? The one to testify or the one to not testify?
I'm on my right to not testify.
Right. All right. So do you in fact waive your right to testify in this case?
I do in fact, Your Honor.
Now, if you ask me, this Negro should have just took the plea deal and took his months on probation. Nothing in me says that he should have taken this to trial because this looks a hot-ass mess. That's just my opinion. But after this little setback in court, and we know it's a setback because soon after, here comes Rihanna. And she's carrying these beautiful babies down to the courthouse, and it was raining outside. Listen, I think this is negligence. She exposed them to all of that fugitive oxygen in the courthouse, that bench wood, and those white lawyers. Listen, unless you want them to follow down the same footsteps as their father, I thought this was a terrible idea. Take a look.
Rihanna, are you hoping this wraps up today? Are you hoping this wraps up today? How you like Rihanna?
It's raining, the baby is getting wet. Come on, Rihanna, this is just tacky. Could you imagine being a billionaire and dating somebody worth significantly less than you? Your options and the people who you are exposed to is so plentiful, and this is what you have settled for? Having your name drugged through the Department of Justice? And for this thugged out Jazzy Jeff, he cannot keep his hands off of illegal weapons, and he cannot refrain from engaging in physical altercations with other black men. This is who you chose to be the father of your boys? It's embarrassing. All of that money, all of that talent and hard work, she just threw it right down the drain. And for what? Struggle love? It's delusional. It's the same thing we see with Nicki Minaj. Same thing with Monica. Listen, and everybody knows, when I was growing up, you could ask any of my sisters. I always loved the singer Monica until I got hip to the spell work. I cannot be listening to no songs about waiting no 5 to 10 years for a man to get out of jail and staying loyal to him while I am free and living a legal lifestyle. That's witchcraft. No. And if I ever caught my daughter listening to some goofy shit like that, she would be grounded for life. Real talk. I'm just convinced these women have no self-worth, from Rihanna to Nicki Minaj to Monica, and they subject their children to street scandals, and they insert these poverty-born penises inside of their vagina. Yes, you can dress it up with designer clothes. You can drive the Maybachs. You can live in the big houses, but it's something about a thugger with the anger monitor on that just doesn't get my motor going. I'm talking about Rocky, ASAP, or whatever you call him. I'm talking about Kenneth Petty. I'm talking about Monica's baby daddy, Rocco the Rapper. They just all give me ICDC College, dirty fingernails, and a number 2 at Taco Bell. I don't like it. It makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. Oh, girl, let's move forward. Girl, this is the story. Wendy finally came forward and told the damn truth. Her son, Kelvin Hunter Jr., was stealing all the money. Girl, Wendy has sobered up and she has regained capacity. And she wants out of this conservatorship. And y'all, I'm Team Wendy on this. I'm really Team Wendy. Y'all, check this out.
My son, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of me. You understand? He overstepped his boundaries, and he was inappropriately using my money without telling me crap about it. Like, is he stealing from me? Look, all I know is that in terms of what I'm dealing with, and that this is still going on, because, that's when my money got frozen at Wells Fargo. Thank God. No more money stealing from my son and the other people. Listen, my son is a really good person. You know what? Oh, God, I'm not going to cry about that. Oh, I'm sorry for cursing. Look, my son is a good person, but at this point, he is a horrible person to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the way he moves with other people. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with these other people at my apartment in Miami? What are you doing? Oh, you spent on what? And what is going on at Wells Fargo?
So, a few things. From watching this clip with Harvey and comparing it to what we saw on that documentary last year, I definitely can tell a difference in Wendy's mannerisms. Her verbiage is more clear. Her communication is very direct, very matter of fact. She's not slurring at all. She is finally telling the truth, which we already knew. This is all her son's fault. And I vaguely remember when all of this foolishness with Wells Fargo came out, it was rumored that Kelvin Jr. and Kelvin Sr. were in cahoots to take Wendy's money. I remember that. So let this be a lesson, ladies. You never name your son after his father. You never do that. You give these boys their own identity and you give them their own name. And you make sure you imprint on your children so they know whose they are. Too many women nowadays I keep seeing on social media saying, I can't raise a man and my son needs to be with his father. Girl, to hell with that. If the father is trash and he lies and he's cheating, why in the hell would you want your son to be around that mess? Why would you want your son to grow up in his image? Why? So he can lie and cheat too? Come on. I'm talking too real and too right, but it's okay because the situation is getting fixed. Yes, this is horrible what Wendy has had to endure at the hands of that greedy and cheating son and his greedy and cheating father. But I know that Wendy loves her son, and that's a lot of love, y'all. Because if it were me, I would never speak to him again, son or not. He would never be allowed to be in my presence because I would consider him a threat. That child will have to foot the bill for his own education and find a new damn place to live. On my soul, he would. Causing your mother to lose her freedom under this conservatorship, the millions of dollars that she lost her condo in New York, to lose seemingly everything this late in life is unforgivable to me. After you work so hard, how dare you? But see, now that Wendy has put down the vodka, she's put down the Henny, the gin, the wine coolers, the Long Island iced teas, she knows this shit has got to change. And the first step with change is telling the truth. So I'm sending hugs and prayers to Wendy Williams from In Touch with E, because this story is truly heartbreaking. And so I'm going to keep my eyes on it and we'll see how it plays out. Are you surprised about Phaedra quitting Married to Medicine at the last minute? Isn't that the same thing Portia did with the Housewives when she stole that lady's husband? Seems like a trend between Frick and Frack. And what about this thing with Melody? I know y'all must have seen through her fake and phony shit way before now. Or was it just me all along? Am I the only one? Please leave that in the comments below. Don't forget about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. How are y'all feeling about taking kids to courthouses for criminal trials? I am just totally against it. I think it's totally traumatic and I think it sets the wrong precedents. I hate that for Rihanna and I hate it for those babies. I'm not for it at all. Last thing, are we standing in solidarity and praying for Wendy Williams? Because I certainly am. Y'all leave it in the comments below and your girl will be sure to stay in touch. Bye.